Let's go. I don't know what you're going through, but we stopped by to tell you that what's in front of you is bigger than what's behind you. Your destiny, your promise, your future. You might as well shout before you get it, because God sent me here to tell you.
So I'm going to talk today a little bit about delayed dreams and detoured destinies. Just for a few moments, not very long at all. And I do know how to do an intro, 3 points, and a conclusion, but I'm not doing that today. This is going to be a smorgasbord, all right? So we're going to be kind of hitting here and there and everywhere. But I believe that when we're done, God wants to lay some stuff in our spirit, settle some things in our heart, and do some course correction. That's what I heard on my way here today, that God is doing course correction and setting us back on the straight path so that we can really manifest this thing for real. I want to start out in Proverbs 13. This is probably my 10th service of the week, so I'm riding on grace and a little bit of sleep, so I hope I wrote my thing down right. Proverbs. And it says, hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a longing or a desire fulfilled comes to pass, when it comes to pass, is a tree of life producing fruit. Hope deferred makes a heart sick, but longing fulfilled comes to pass is a tree of life. It's active, it's lively, and it produces fruit. When I am sick and unproductive, when I'm not able to live out my dreams, when I am dealing with frustrations and stagnation, my heart is sick, I am unproductive, and we heard it earlier, when you're unproductive, you die. So let's look at this word hope. In the Hebrew, it is toheleth. It talks about expectation. It talks about a feeling of expectation and desire for a certain thing to happen. That's hope. But when I desire for something to happen and that thing doesn't happen, something shifts in my heart, in my spirit, in my psyche that makes me feel sad and ultimately sick if I don't address the delayed hope. Right. So this is my expectation. So we talk a little about hope. Let's also talk about a dream, because I think we all have our ideas of what a dream is based on, our experiences, our environment, our rearing, our upbringing, or however. But I want to just, for the purpose today, talk about a dream along this wise. Dream is a series of thoughts, images, emotions occurring in one's sleep. Say sleep. Sleep. Dreams are a series of thoughts, images, and ideas that happen to us while we are sleeping. It is also identified as a strongly desired purpose or goal. This happens when I am sleeping. So this word deferred in the Hebrew, it talks about being prolonged, it talks about being scattered, it talks about being drawn out, it talks about being prolonged, postponed, drug out, and at the end of the day, the result is that my heart is sick when the images, the thoughts, the ideas, the things I had happening to me, downloading into me when I was asleep, are not able to be produced externally or manifested on the outside, do not become tangible. Now I am delayed and prolonged, and so ultimately I end up sick. Sick in mind, sick in heart, sick in emotion, sick in my disposition, my attitude, my demeanor. You're trying to figure out why you're snapping, why you're irritated. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Well, what's wrong with you? My dreams have been delayed and I'm mad about it. My dreams have been delayed and I'm frustrated. My dreams have been delayed and I'm sad about it. My heart is broken because I thought God was going to do it this way, or I thought he was going to let me marry that one, or I thought that one really was my girl. I thought she had my back, but somewhere along the way what I thought was evidently not what God wanted for my life. And if I just be honest with myself and with those around me, I'm irritated with God because I wanted it to work out. I thought I was your girl. I mean, I've been preaching and praying and prophesying and fasting and raising churches and empowering leaders. I mean, I ought to be able to ask God for what I want to just get it. Oh, you leave me out here by myself like that? I'm that deep today. Come on. And so we have these expectations, this earnest hope that we just believe that what we see is going to happen. mean, I'm sleeping, mind my own business. Why give me the idea while I'm sleeping? Why give me the dream? Why bother me at all? Just let me go to sleep and wake up in the morning and mind my business. But that's not the kind of God we serve. He's always nudging us. He's always whispering his ideas, always insinuating, subtly and also blatantly, as to what it is he wants us to do and how he wants us to walk our life out. So if this is God's idea, why you take so long? What are we waiting for? What's this waiting game all about? Let's set the date, let's set the time, let's show up and get it done. But that's not how God works. He talks to us about birthing when we are barren. He tells us we're going to be a father of many nations, but I don't even have the first child. This just is how God messed with us. So now we end up in a state of being delayed and deferment, and we are broken or frustrated or angry, depending on what state you're in, because you probably experience all those emotions if you're like me and if you're honest. If you're deep, maybe not. And so when our dreams are delayed, my mind and my will and my determination becomes weak. This is the sixth state. We become lethargic, we become feeble, we become disconnected. You know how it is when you don't feel well. You don't want to be bothered with anyone, you don't want to talk to anyone because they don't understand this thing. You got an attitude with God. You may not blatantly say it, but you're feeling some kind of way. Because it still hasn't happened yet. Why am I being delayed? So my assignment, very quickly with the few minutes that I have left, is to really come to speak a word in season to those who have been dealing with delayed dreams and detoured destinies, who have been wrestling with the fact that you thought God was going to do it already and it still hasn't come together. You've been tripping about how long it's been taking for the manifestation. I'm here to talk to those of you in the room that are in that place today. I want to talk to some people who have tried some things and they failed. I want to talk to some people who made and put forth the effort, but still it seemed like it was futile. Or to those who were previously productive, but for whatever reason in this state today you are stagnant. That's called secondary barrenness, by the way. There are three stages of barrenness. There's primary, and there is secondary, and there's absolute barrenness. In the primary stage, you are able to have a child, or not able to have a child, just by trying the initial act. Whatever it takes to do to have a child, you try the first time, you're not able. Secondary, you're doing all the work, putting in all the effort. Come on, got the candles lit, the flowers, come on, keep it generating. But you're not able to produce. Right? You got secondary barrenness, you've tried it a couple of times, or you had a baby the first time, but now your secondary barrenness, you can't have another one the second time. So you build the business, but when you try to start the church, it fails. All right, I'm just trying to stay in the house. Just trying to stay in the house. Or there's absolute barrenness where you don't even have what's necessary to produce on the inside of your womb. And in that case, you need a miracle from God, a creative miracle from God. That's not my message at all. Let me hurry up. All right, so let me jump down because I'm already into my time. I want to just go here to 2 Timothy 2 and 6. And this is what God gave me for those of you that are in this state that I said earlier. He says, for this reason, I'm reminding you to fan into flame the gift of God which is in you. Say it's in me. It may be taking a long time, it may be slow, it may be stagnant, but it's still where? It's still in me. So we're just here to stir it up. It needs to be rekindled. It needs to be activated. Activated means to make alive, to revive, to wake it up. Remember I said it happens while you're sleeping? That's good. All right, so we're here to activate what you saw while you were sleeping. I'm here today to tell you to wake up to your dreams. I understand that normally we say wake up from a dream. I woke up from the dream. I woke up from the nightmare. God is saying wake up to the dream. Wake up to what I showed you while you were sleeping. In the quiet time, in the midnight hour, When nobody else was in your house, God was dropping some things and downloading some things in you. In Job 33:14-18, it says this, for God speaks once, yes, twice, and man still doesn't get it, paraphrasing. So in a dream, in a vision of night, when deep sleep falls upon men, and slumberings upon the bed, then he opens the ears of men and seals the instruction. So God gives us specific instructions while we are sleeping. Verse 17 says that he may withdraw man from his purpose. So he does all of this to draw purpose out of you while you are doing what? Sleeping. Tell your neighbor, wake up to your dream. See, we've all been entrusted with a purpose that's wrapped inside of our dream, that's to be manifested in the earth through our gifts, our talents, our skills, our ability, our anointing, the grace of God in our life. We have a responsibility to walk out the dream that we saw when we were sleeping, and then God gives us what we need to do, gives us what we need to get it done, and we still don't move. What's the real problem? Let me tell you what your problem is. You got a guaranteed result with God. Proverbs 46 says, God is within her and she will not fail. He's on the inside of us. We got the gifts, the talents, the skills, the ability, the anointing, the education. 3, 4, 5 degrees, and we still haven't written the book? Ask your neighbor, what's the problem? You've been preaching for 20 years and you still haven't launched the church? What? Come on, neighbor, what's the problem? Why are you still sleeping? Let me tell you why. The number one reason many of us are still sleeping is past failures. You tried it and it didn't work. The second reason is future uncertainty. Well, if I launch out, what if I don't know? What if nobody shows up if I do the conference? What if nobody buys my book when I write it? Future uncertainties. The third one is you lack support. Who's going to help me get it done? I don't have anybody in my neighborhood, anybody in my family who's going to help me, so I'll just go unconscious and I will stay asleep. Because as long as I stay asleep, I don't have to walk in responsibility to the gift that God gave me. As long as I can stay numb, as long as I keep supporting everybody else's progress, maybe God won't hold me accountable to what He told me to do. All right? As long as I can write everybody else's book, maybe God will count that to my credit. I don't have to write my book. Okay. I'm just being messy now. The next one is fear. Waiting, we keep waiting for fear to leave, and God is saying, do it afraid. Launch out to the deep now. As you go, I'm going to alleviate the fear. But you keep tripping, being afraid of other people's opinions, what you don't have. I don't have the money to write the book. You don't need no money because you ain't wrote the book. Here's another one. We don't walk out our dreams. We don't wake up and walk out our dreams because we keep dealing with dream killers in our circle. Here are the dream killers. Inside voices. The stuff you tell yourself you can't do. Outside voices. All the lies your mama and them said you couldn't do. The third one is wrong choices. Inside voices, outside voices, and wrong choices. You keep connecting with the wrong boo. Thinking that that's the one that God assigned and anointed to your life, and they really are a DOA, a demon on assignment, assigned to attach, to suck the anointing out of you, to hinder you, to hold you, to stifle you, so you won't produce. They are assigned to kill the seed of productivity in your life. I feel God right there. Dream killers. On your journey, these hijackers are the ones that attach themselves to you in the name of help. In the name of friendship. In the name of, will you mentor me? I feel God calling me to. You need someone to serve as an adjutant to you. Can I carry your water? Can I carry your suitcase? Come on, can we talk about the hijackers? And before you know it, they hijacked your idea. They hijacked your sermon title. Come on. Dream hijackers. Some of y'all been messed up because of the hijackers that stole your ideas, and so it stifled you from producing again. But I need you to understand that God has a limitless supply.
Yes, thank God.
Tell your neighbor there's more where that came from. Your dream is waiting on the other side of your journey, so you cannot afford to quit now. You've got to keep on moving on your journey. Pull over to the side of the road and kick out the hitchhiker. Shut down the hijacker. Delete them out your phone book. Don't answer when they call. All right, I'm getting messy again. Keep on moving. You want to move, you want to produce, you want to create, but you stay asleep. Stop letting people ride in your vehicle that you know are not assigned to your life. You know how you know? If you're doing all the giving, you're doing all the praying, you're doing all the supporting, all these one-sided relationships, we're going to shut that down in 2020. How about some reciprocity? Stretch your hands and say, stop being messy. I only got 2 minutes left. Lord, have mercy. So God said course correction. So I want to help us really quickly how to course correct. Say course correction. Because the hijackers and the hitchhikers have caused us to detour and go out of the way from where God wanted us to land. So now we need a course correction. Here's how we're going to get there. Number one, my brother here said you got to have a dream, right? So my point is you've got to identify where your dream is. All right? It's going to be in one of three places. You ready? Number one is your dream in your head. Is your dream in your heart? Or is your dream in your hand? If it's in the head space, bouncing around the cerebral cortex as an idea for 25 years, it ain't going nowhere, it's just stuck in your head. Is your dream in your heart? You that deep soul that's, oh, I feel God wants to use. I feel God wants, oh, I can just see it today. Oh, one day it's going to be, oh, I can just, it just stays in the heart, just circling around, feeling good. Yeah, you know, since I've been washed in the blood. Okay, yeah. All right, feeling good. Or is it in your hand, the place of doing and action and creativity and making some things happen? Where is your dream? Is it in the graveyard? Because you let those outside voices shut your ability down, your productivity down? Where is your dream? Here's how we're going to resurrect it. You are going to start out by speaking to it. As you speak to it, it's going to move. Say, as I speak, it's going to move. If it's in the head space, and you can speak to it in the head space, then it can move from the head space to the heart space, because as a man thinketh in his heart, so he is. So there's a, instead of a disconnect, there's a connectivity that begins to take place. All right? And so you want to speak life to it wherever it is, located first, and then speak life to it and get in agreement with God and fall out of agreement with what other people said about your dream. And speak that into existence. Now you got to do some work. I'm going to say these, then I'm done. This is how you're going to begin. So it starts off with speaking it, all right? I am a #1 bestseller. I am at the top of the Amazon best-selling list. I am more, speak the word. My church is alive and thriving and successful because the word of God says so. Because you see what I'm saying? You speak the word as a man. Come on. Life and death is in the power where? Of the tongue. So keys to manifesting your dreams. Here's quick keys to manifesting your dreams. #1, you've got to be intentional about your dream.
That's good.
Not emotional about it. Not he-ta-ta-ta coming in a Honda about it. But you got to be intentional. You can do that all day long. Start a new dance craze. All day long. But you've got to be intentional about your dream. #2, be an initiator, not a procrastinator. You got to start where you are and use what you got. The next one, identify who the dream blockers are in your life and kick them out. Give them an eviction notice. The next one, identify some dream builders in your life. Who can support you in your vision? You want to write a book, but you can't write. Guess what? If God gave me that, I'm going to hire a ghostwriter because I got the vision on the inside. Maybe somebody help me birth it out. See, a lot of times we'll call it as a disqualifier. I don't know how to write no book. All right, I just wanted to help us right there. The next one, be a builder and not a blocker of other people's dreams. Set goals and stick to them. Come on, workout queens and kings. Talk about myself. I did a boot camp. I just epic failed. Set goals and stick to them. Develop your skill set around the dream. We heard that earlier. This is so big. Test your talent. Test it. Don't be talking about you gonna start a bakery and you burn everything you cook. And give it to somebody more than mama and that don't just love you and say, oh, baby, this is so good. Test your dream. He said, please test it. Last one, dream big and then dream bigger. Because in most instances, the first idea we have is probably too low because our faith ain't there yet. We ain't never done it before. So dream big and then dream bigger. Manifesting your dream requires these things. Assessment, say assessment. Alignment. Action. And accountability. The assessment is asking some questions. What is my dream? What do I love to do? What am I good at? What do I want to achieve? Who do I want to help? Assessment questions. All right? Then we said alignment. It needs to align with your core values, your internal GPS, your faith, your integrity, your family, whatever those things are. Alignment with your core, alignment with your passion, and alignment with your prophecy. Yeah. What word has God spoken over your life that He has said you were going to do? He is the creator. Why on earth, Brawner would say, are you here? Who are you assigned to help? Because if you refuse to move, you have just told all those people no. I don't want that responsibility. I want to be able to move and impact every single person that God has assigned to my life. This is my final word for real. I'm a preacher. We get 7 closings. The final word is this. Your dreams will always be tested. Your dreams will always be tested. Don't get confused by what you see. You thought that test was a termination and God saying, nope, that's not what I want you to do. It's time for you to give up and quit. You thought the pink slip was the final notice. God said, oh, well. When really He allowed your job to be shut down so you can tap into your resource and your creativity to launch your own business. Okay. Okay. Just telling you what I know. I walked it on my own. Let's stand to our feet. We're closing right now for real, for real. Stand up for real. Don't allow yourself to be confused by timing. Don't allow your dreams to be crushed by comparison. Looking over at what somebody else may be doing or maybe doing better, whatever that is. Because as soon as you say better, it's going to be another level of better.
Yeah.
So it's about being comfortable with the pace of God in your own race.
Yeah.
How fast does God want me to move? They may do it in 5 days, but it may take me 5 years. It don't matter as long as the anointing of God is going with me. Because here's the real deal. Every step leads to a destination. Don't matter how fast and how slow, I can still make it to that door. Every step leads to a destination, all right? I decree over you, raise your right hand right now. We're not going to do any swearing or swearing in, but I just want you to raise your hand right now in agreement. I speak over you right now, and I decree the words, wake up!
Yes, Lord. Yes, God. Yes, Lord.
I speak over your spirit, your soul, your mind, every dream, every idea, every vision, everything you started that you gave up on too early, and I tell you to wake up! I decree your soul is back on course. Your heart is healed. You are alive, you are active, and you are awake. You are not too old to walk out God's plan for your life. You're not too old to start the business. You're not too old to launch the ministry. Wake up to your dream. Because God is about to blow your mind with what you've got left. I'm done.
Let's go. I don't know what you're going through, but we stopped by to tell you that what's in front of you is bigger than what's behind you. Your destiny, your promise, your future. You might as well shout before you get it, because God